What's good? It's your boy ARP, and we back with the Sorry It's True podcast. Hold on. I got noise in the background. Let me cut that down. Hold on. All right. So yeah, shout out to the shout out to the whole chat, checks and balances. Shout out to all the channel members. Gang. Speaking of gangs. Oh, shout out to all the subscribers. Y'all knew that we was gonna come back for this one, right? I was gonna play the news video of all the coverage at Drake's home and all that, and just listen to the reporters talk about it. Pretty much everybody's already up to speed on it. Everybody's already talking about it. There's a lot of he say she say going around, rightfully so, because what facts do any of us really have yet? Okay, there's going to be a lot of people jumping out the window. There's going to be a lot of people putting claims on people that shouldn't have claims on them. There's going to be further revelations. There's going to be further people that come out and talk. There's going to be police investigations. There's going to be people that cooperate with the police. You're going to see reports coming out. Oh, Drake is a snitch. People from it's going to be all over the fucking place, right? It's like, damn, we was really trying to keep it PG. We was really trying to keep it PG. You know who really bang the set out there is YG. Speaking of gangs, this topic runs real deep. It runs real deep. Let's go to the beginning. Like I said, I don't want to play the news clip and do a reaction to that or nothing like that. I'm not going to play any videos. The only thing I'm going to keep up here is the store vandalized or vandalism, thing. And I guess we could start there first. Let's talk about fans versus gangs versus all the different indications and finger pointing that's already beginning to happen. Let's go to fans first. Let's walk. Fans do way too much. Fanatics. Anybody ever remember the song Stan? Right? You don't think that songs like that are reality? You don't think that celebrities like that really deal with super fanatics, people that have these personal investments into their lives, their livelihood, their albums, their songs, their videos, where they live? You can always tie it even into social media and what it gives the average fan access to. It allows you to vicariously live through some of these people's lives, stay tapped into where they are, what they're doing, who they're with, who's your baby mom, who you sleeping with, what jewelry are you wearing, what shirt is on your back, what kind of sneakers is on your feet, how much money you got, what car you driving. Yo, you want to know the difference between a 4.0 and a 4.6? About 80, 100 grand, cocksucker, beat it. Nobody wants a 4.0 anymore. Change clothes and goals, throw on the button ups, get rid of them jerseys. Nobody wants jerseys no more. Spinning rims, we off that. We riding plane. Nobody wants free roll spinning rims anymore. The influence of these rappers towards the casual fan that cannot live above and beyond their own life is tremendous, is absolutely tremendous. And this is why the immediate reaction, nobody knows who to point blame at, but this is why the immediate reaction is Kendrick Lamar didn't, in the middle of the biggest rap battle ever, the most public rap battle ever, right? As far as viewership, reactions, social media engagement, amount of content, the amount of what is going on amongst this Drake and Kendrick shit is it'll be one of the biggest whether we like it or not, whether you would rather say, oh no, but I like this rapper and this rapper more. Or I think the East Coast versus the West Coast feud was huge, and Biggie and Pac, and they lost their lives, but in the midst of some of that stuff, rest in peace. But whether you like it or not, the Kendrick and the Drake shit, I think, is one of the biggest, if not the biggest hip hop moment. You gotta really, and it's gonna age like that. It's gonna continue to garner more and more as years to come. More talk, more news articles, more revelations, more interviews, more subliminal songs between these two guys. Speaking of, you're not gonna get any more songs right now. You're not getting any more songs. Neither one of them niggas can drop any more music right now. It's too much going on. Subliminals and songs later on, cool. But let's get back to the fans for a second. The personal investment that these fans begin to have with these rappers, and even the feud or the beef or the rap battle, They say all the time, it's not the rappers, it be the entourage because the entourage is an extension of the rapper. And you want to know what happens after the entourage that we don't speak about as much? The fans. They still will be hashtag Team Drake. They still will be hashtag Team Kendrick Lamar, right? And they're engulfed in that. And this is the power of these artists as well. This is the power of them. Realize it or not. Drake could just make a song and have your neighborhood flooded or have your car vandalized. Or this is why they also got to be careful with lawsuits because you say the wrong thing. Like, matter of fact, Star, shout out to Star. Wasn't Star arrested for that? He said something on the radio about DJ Envy and DJ and his wife or whatever. Like, I think we have a responsibility for what the things that we put in these songs and say on these cameras, even small voices like me, we do have a responsibility. We do, because the influence factor is mega, mega. Look at this store vandalized. You can't pay me to believe that this was somebody that Kendrick Lamar sent to this store to write "They Not Like Us" on it. Vandalized Drake's OVO store. Look at this. This whole front glass pane needs to be taken out and replaced. The store's business needs to possibly temporarily be closed. I mean, look at this. They not like us. The song to Kendrick's drop, one of his diss songs. I mean, the title. Crazy. You can't pay me to believe that Kendrick sent that. That's a fucking fanatic. I could go on my own personal, you know, examples of when I see this type of stuff, right? Because what we're not going to do is we're not going to just say, oh, hip hop, they don't know how to act. It happens everywhere. Like a month or two ago, a couple months ago, I went to an Atlanta versus the Buccaneers game, right? Football game. And while we was, walking through the arena and walking to our seats, I felt the tension. Why? Because one of my homies that I was with was wearing the Eagles hat. It's not even a team that's playing, but he's a diehard Eagles fan. And anytime he's in around any football fans or whatever, he's repping his set, right? Because it's all parallel to gang mentality and gangs, right? I'm not saying that that's what he's on, but this is the energy that be created. We walking through the arena, and I'm purposefully walking behind him now because it made me feel guarded and uncomfortable. I swear to God. I swear to God, as we walking through the arena, I hear little chirps here and there. Some of them sarcastic. Some of them is just supposed to be like, football fan to football fan, camaraderie, joking, playing around. Even though sometimes jokes go too far because it's still two strangers, and there could be a lack of trust. Like, what do you really mean? What are you really on? Why are you dissing me? Why are you calling me out? Right? But as we walk and I hear the chirps, I hear little murmurs like in this it's a big crowd walking through the hallways, getting to this football. Thousands of people you're surrounded by. I hear little chirps over there, the other side of the hall, over here, boom, walk by. Look at this idiot with this Eagles hat. You might hear somebody over there, fuck the Eagles. Clown over there with the green hat. Fuck Philly. Or, you know what I'm saying? And it's not even their game. Now imagine like all the shit that we see. I would never go to a fucking Boston versus the Yankees game. Never. Never. I've been to a couple baseball games this year and last year, and me just knowing that's how they give it up sometimes, I'd be like conscious of that. Like, motherfucker gonna play around too much because you cheer for a certain team. These motherfuckers be in the stands getting all drunk and whatnot. And I said, stands. The stands be in the stands, right? Getting drunk and just over repping they set because a lot of casual fans just can't put themselves in their own unique world. They have to attach themselves to something. Entities that they don't make any money off of, that isn't going to do nothing for them, that they're not involved with, people that they don't know personally. But the personal investment is crazy. When we see in the footage popping up of everybody at these parties now, fuck Drake. And Kendrick directly does instigate that. What he knows he does. You know what I'm saying? Let me hear you say OV ho, OV. And then it becomes an anthem for a bunch of people in the club. But a lot of them can't keep it as entertainment. A lot of them can't keep it as battle rap. A lot of them can't keep it at hip hop. They can't. Let me hear you say, "Oh, ho, yo, you want to know what Drake store is down the block? Yo, pull up." spray paint in the trunk. That's you know what I'm saying? It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. And that's where the fan elements come in. Now, when we talk about the shooting at the crib, which is a way more serious situation and incident than the store being vandalized. So look at the reports that are coming out, right? People are gonna say, Kendrick's cover had Drake's crib on on Google Maps or on his cover art and whatnot. And everybody already knew where Drake lived. You know what I'm saying? And he brings hundreds of people over the years, maybe thousands at this point, to his crib. And now I'm hearing them in news reports like that house, that mega house, super mega mansion, isn't even in a gated community. Right? It's just out on public road and you could drive past it like a tourist, like you see in Hollywood where they do like the fucking tours, the celebrity tours, and they drive past certain celebrities' houses because sometimes these houses aren't even in private communities that are gated and have limited access. You could drive up to the front or the gates at least of Drake's home. And that's probably why he has 24 by 7 security there working year round, even when he's not in town or not there or even in the country. You see what I'm saying? So you hear the news reports, and none of this to me it could be ever be fully confirmed until somebody's apprehended and you start getting statements and all that type of stuff. But you hear the reports that somebody drove up and was causing a disturbance, possibly playing loud music. There begins to have happen some engagement between those people in a car or persons in a car and the security guard, and then the security guard ends up getting shot in the chest. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Now, could that have possibly just been a fan that pulled up and was trolling and shit? It could definitely be very possible that that's what it was. Could have just been a fan that had a gun, pulled up to troll, pulled up to play around, pulled up to say, fuck Drake, let me hear you say OV ho. Security guard has an engagement. You don't know if there was an argument. You don't know if the security guard got irate. You don't know if they got irate. You don't know if things got out of control. Next thing you know, a gun got pulled, and you don't know that. But it's very, very possible that this was a fanatic just inspired by this mega beef, just doing what some of these fanatics do, some of these stands do. It could have 100% been that. It could have. It could have. You can't pay me enough to believe that in the midst of something this visible that Kendrick says, oh, by the way, while I'm going back and forth with this guy, here, I want you to go over there and just shoot up the crib or cause a disturbance or whatever. What could also be a crash out mission. I mean, that area, that amount of cameras, the scale of this beef and all that. I mean, who knows? I think it's more of a fan, to be honest. And it's fucked up that it's like the wave of what Kendrick's power is and his songs hitting, but to put that on Kendrick's jacket is wrong. It's fucked up, but it's wrong to put that on Kendrick's jacket. And we were all sitting here begging for it. And this is what happens, man. It sucks. It sucks. Hip hop ain't the only ones that do it. We just spoke about football and baseball and everybody does it. But it sucks in hip hop that we get the biggest rap battle ever. And look where it's turning now. Look what it's turning into. Now, could we have predicted this? I guess we would have been naive to not predict stuff like this. Even before we think about people's personal investments, the fans of the world, the fanatics of the world. Just the simple fact that we know that these guys are going to eventually take the gloves off. Drake is begging to take the gloves off. This ain't even everything I know. Don't make the demon up. Right? Kendrick, we ain't got to get personal. Something you don't want to do. Ooh, we don't want to hear you say. He warned them. They warning each other. When you get that level of personal, like people are offended. Now, let me go the step after the rappers, man. Because before I even get to the gang side of this, I want to talk about these structures. I want to talk about these structures. I want to talk about the person that's in front of us first. Drake and Kendrick, the faces, the artists, they all megastars. But there's layers, okay? The next layers is the heavyweights that have personal stake. I think an example of like a heavyweight that can have personal stake, yet and in the grand scheme of things, these heavyweights are really peanuts. Stay with me. I'm gonna really make you understand what I'm talking about. Stay with me. a heavyweight that in the grand scheme of things is still a peanut could be like, let's say, a Jay Prince. My man Tate calling me. Like a Jay Prince, right? You see, when Kanye West is standing there reading off his paper about his, yo, Drake, me and you, let's get together and let's do this tour. You know what I'm saying? Was to do his concert. You know what I mean? Even fucking Kanye don't even look happy. You see Jay Prince standing next to him. People, people looking at the video like, man, look at you got fucking forced to do that shit. And fast forward, look, they don't fuck with each other still, Drake and Kanye. It looks like, there was people around that pushed those two guys together. Yo, man, listen, you two stop, cut this shit out. Stop this shit. And the motherfucker's like, hey, lucky I respect Jay Prince, man. Like, oh, ah, ah, right? In that space, at that level now, past the artist, right? The people that can have personal investments in these two people, let's say, for example, like a Top Dog. I hear Top Dog is a serious person in Cali. I'm learning that throughout all this feud. I don't know. I'm not out there. I'm not from there. I'm learning that Top Dog is a serious person. But Drake is calling out Top Dog related business. You're calling him, an extortion baby, right? What if Top Dog really is tied in financially in a certain way to Kendrick, right? Now it becomes almost streetish of things that start to happen because there's people with street credibility, the Jay Princes and the Top Dogs or whatever, the people that are tapped in like that have these personal investments and all the people that they're associated with. You got this layer now that becomes a part of this battle. It's not just rap. We going through it like, yo, respond with rap time. That's right. Oh, what did he say on his last track? But some of the shit that these motherfuckers are saying in these songs are serious. And they tie in serious people. And sometimes they even have serious investments. Okay. Now that's just like the layer of like, I'm saying peanuts in the grand scheme, because if I want to jump all the way up to the top, that's when y'all start running around with these reports of the Illuminati coming outside in the middle of all this. Because I seen some of the videos, I seen the talks of like Universal Music Group requesting Kendrick to apologize or to at least make a public statement that Drake is not a pedo, right? And it reminds you for the people that forgot about that in the midst of this battle, because we're talking about these people that have small local or maybe record deal or a couple $1,000,000 type of investment or a little bit of power. You can help me. That's small change. That's small rank. These Universal Music Groups, these Nikes of the world that give the Drakes 3, 4, 500, $600 million endorsement deals and whatnot, that have their pretty boy face that's out here representing the company and wearing the brand in his videos. Some of Drake's biggest songs and singles wearing Nike clothes. Why? He rapped about it because of his mega endorsement. And now you got this split due to this beef of all these people out here, hashtag pedo and they look. Drake is over here like, what? Y'all putting this on my jacket? Are y'all crazy? And look at these millions of fans out here calling him a pedo now. Look at this. It's fucking crazy outside right now for the shit that this shit stirred up. Far from a hornet's nest. So if you're in those offices, not no Jay Prince or no Top Dog, the billionaires, the people that are tied into like the media and Hollywood, and we're talking Nike. We're talking Nike. $1 billion to Nike probably don't mean shit. Nike. And one of my faces is being painted in the whole world now as a possible pedophile. It starts to get very, very big. It starts to get serious. There's elements of that become dangerous. Way, way past rap. Way, 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 way past rap. Everybody was talking about how Pusha T hurt the rollout or canceled the rollout with Adidas and Drake, right? Look at this shit right here. This is serious. possibly another hidden child. If I'm Nike, if I'm some big wig Nike, I don't care about that because Drake is the ladies' man presentation. You got another kid, other women's just gonna flock to that anyway. He can get past that controversy. Oh, he got another kid. Oh, that means maybe he'll get me pregnant too. He's out here. Future got how many baby moms? And he's one of the biggest rappers in the world, right? That shit don't matter. That don't affect your brand. That's not gonna affect your deals or your endorsements. It's the pedophile shit. It's the pedophile shit. Because when you start having like the sex trafficking allegations and the escort allegations and the underage women allegations, that's when these people are going to be disturbed. That's when it's game changing. That's when you see Diddy have to step down from Revolt. It gets major, it gets mega. If you see these two people on stage doing a show together, don't waste your time saying, oh, yeah, I didn't mean what y'all rap. No, they were forced by entities 20 times bigger than them to take that stage and clean this shit the fuck up. Don't be surprised. If they did a joint album next week, I wouldn't be surprised. Up there is a serious fucking ball game. Y'all could call it Illuminati. You could call it whatever you want. Sometimes I say, like, okay, I did some research over the years, and I do think that there's some freaky, weird power structures that go on, and they have certain cliques and certain inductions and certain get-togethers, and they do some weird stuff. Yes, it's been exposed a million times. Like, it's reality. But if I want to just take the I guess mythical brand of Illuminati off of it and just relate to anybody that can just apply common sense regardless, just think about how mega it is. Just think about a reality, for example, like the president isn't in charge. The president is the face. The president is the spokesperson. When there's a 9/11 attack, right? And people want the leader of the country to speak up and speak out and calm us all down and tell us what's going to happen. Are we at war? Are we about to be invaded? Are we about to invade somebody else? That fucking president is sitting there in a room with how many people around the table? He's got the Secretary of Defense. He's got this person, some phone calls being made from this person over there coming in or whatever. He's getting all this counsel. He's damn near probably getting his speech created for him. And then he steps out and he's the spearhead because that's the face that we pushed out there and we voted for and put there to be the face front of all of this. And then he delivers the message. You think he pulls the final string? You'd be super naive to think that the president is really in charge. Are you serious? Are you serious? These rappers make more in salary than the president. Look it up. Look it up. That person's in charge. The Trumps of the world are in charge. You know what I'm saying? I know teenagers that's literally, sharper than Donald Trump. But he could get voted into the House. He's really, really, really in charge. That's what I mean when I take the mythical term of Illuminati off of things and just say, just clear cut people. Don't you understand that there's power structures 10 times bigger, 20 times bigger, mega, mega bigger than the actual faces that we see? I've used the example plenty of times before of Chris Rock, right? Great. This is a person that's in Hollywood, that's in some of them rooms, right? That probably knows shit that's going on. He's tapped in. He's a megastar, right? Chris Rock, the classic joke. He said, Shaq ain't wealthy. The white man that signs his check is wealthy and hands it to him and says, here, Shaq, go buy some bouncing cars with some spinning rims. We know Shaq is really wealthy, though. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward, all the shit that he owns and whatnot. But it's the concept. It's the concept. The person that says, Shaq, you're off air. The person that says, Shaq, your contract is extended. The person that says, here's your check, Shaq. The person that says, okay, I want to pay you this instead of that, Shaq. You know what I'm saying? He's not paying himself. Somebody above him. And it's probably somebody above that and possibly somebody above that. Right? So you paint that as Illuminati or whatever the case may be, but you start talking about Universal Music Group, you start talking about Nike, you start talking about all these different brands and these people that are invested and these now millions of fans running around calling somebody a pedophile. Oh, it's serious. And down there, all the way at the bottom, are just the ants running around, the fanatics. And even they will run up on your fucking store and spray paint it. So imagine what's happening up there. Sheesh. Okay. I don't mean to be as scary or as spooky or as heavy this early in the morning, but sorry, it's true. Okay. Gangs now. I just spent 20 plus minutes talking about just the fan side of it, moving all the way up to the top of the charts or the ranks, right? The gang side of it. It's another thing that's cloaked for us that we'd be naive to assume. I said this before too. These people are dangerous because money and position becomes danger for rivals, right? It could be the softest, corniest, lamest person in the world. Some of y'all feel that way about Drake. I don't. Seems to be a cool guy that makes stellar music. That's my investment there. That's all. I don't go past that. Seems to be a cool guy that makes stellar music. That's it for me personally. No further personal investment other than that, right? The Drakes of the world snaps his fingers and creates mega problems for people. It's just his position. That's how it goes. Okay. Now, when you're in these positions, though, it's impossible to become a Drake or even a Kendrick Lamar and not have to be associated with different elements, different people, right? All the way down here on the bottom on the ground, we want to call it extortion and we want to call it checking in. That's like minor shit. Like, and that really happens, right? If I want to go to this city, it's Detroit. Oh, who's over there? Somebody by the name of Trick. Yo, let me link up. I'll go over here, Houston and whatnot. Yo, the Prince family. Go to Cali, whatever. There's some people out there. Okay, let me tap in. You go to New York, there's people out there. Go to Atlanta, there's people, and so forth and so on. Right? That's cool. That's cool. But sometimes, even without the quote unquote extortion, right? And it doesn't mean that you're pussy, and it doesn't mean that you have to, have these people on your side for safety. But it's always going to be an element of the world. You become mega and you move around, there's people that you need to keep favor with because you're this massive machine. And the favor sometimes is of street cloth. So now we're talking about this Family Matters video. You see that going around, right? I see everybody starting to talk about who's this person in the Family Matters video, the third verse with the bandana on, right? When we did a reaction stream, let me take this shit off my screen. When we did a reaction to it, even I was laughing about it, right? I said, who is this guy that he's talking to? You know what I'm saying? I said, so somebody on the internet is gonna do like a lip reading breakdown and figure out the actual conversation. But I was watching action. I was like, yeah, that's true. Think about it. Drake does do placements a lot, subliminals a lot. And then they start pulling up on the internet who this person is. And I don't know this person from a hole in a wall, but they pull up his name, they pull up his affiliations, and they're saying allegedly he's some Hell's Angel leader. And out there in that area, the Hell's Angels have like a big presence, right? You know who the Hell's Angels are, right? People that you don't really want to play with, right? But if I'm Drake, and if they in this area and I'm in this area, I might want to have good favor with them. If I live in a neighborhood full of Bloods, I probably want the Bloods to get along with me. If I live in a neighborhood full of Crips, I probably want the Crips to get along with me, right? Especially if these motherfuckers start feeling like, damn, you got all this going on. We active, we in the community, right? You got all this. This is where people start doing the give backs, the planting of the money trees, right? They're investing in the hoods. This is where somebody could just be like, yo, this person over here, like, you trying to do something, help them out. Who is it? Well, happens to be the cousin of the leader of the Hell's Angels or whatever. Damn, that should make me feel like it's just so rampant. The examples there. Art imitates life. Remember the movie Casino? Remember the movie Casino? Remember Robert De Niro as the face of the casino that's running it, right? And you had, you out there in the desert, you out there in Vegas, and the power structure's way above De Niro, who's still tied in with the mob, right? Who's supposed to be a powerful person, right? There's still other powerful people. And he's got this Nimrod working for him that's just supposed to be like watching the floor, being like a general, like little regular floor manager. And the slot machine, gets hit for a bunch of money. And then De Niro comes always scolding the employee, like, yo, like, you didn't realize by the third time or whatever that somebody possibly got into the machine and rigged the machine. And if you didn't realize that and pull the machine by then that means that you're in on it. Either way, I feel like you're fucking stupid and I'm running a whole casino here. You're out. You're fired. Dude's pops came down. Said, listen, I need my little nephew back on with his job. I would appreciate the favor. 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 That's a form of extortion to a degree, right? But favor. Okay. De Niro declines. Next thing you know, he has bigger problems. Dude knows somebody, walked up in, yo, you know what? Investigate this guy for never getting his license actually approved. Because he's tapped in. He's known. Next thing you know, De Niro got bigger problems. Power structures and getting along with certain people, right? Do a favor for this person. Stay in touch with this. Do me if I just got that the other day. Now, it ain't no extortion shit, right? But shout out to the homie Vada. I get hundreds of DMs. And during this podcast shit too, y'all are killing my DMs. That's why I'm moving everybody to my Twitter. I can't reply to my DMs anymore because I'm getting literally hundreds of DMs, right? And some of them is even unrelated to my podcast. People just see some of the viewership and they're just trying to, and I can't keep up with it. And some of it I probably don't even want to keep up with because some of y'all probably ask me some wild shit in these DMs. Go to my Twitter. Just at me, and I'm gonna do my best to keep on my Twitter. I'm not going through my DMs anymore. But Vada texts me like, "Yo, this such and such is DMing you. He wants to talk to you." Now, because you're a friend of a friend, I go through my DMs and I find who it is and I reply to him. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. Now, imagine if I'm a Drake and somebody's looking to create a favor or ask for something or to create a situation. That's where the gang shit starts coming in. Okay? Because like we said earlier in the stream, some of the people that's getting even said and mentioned in these diss songs, the top dogs and all that type of shit. And then this guy now, they're revealing who he is that Drake is putting in his videos. Not even just the video. How about the restaurant that he went to that everybody's saying is tied to something? It's symbolism of what Drake is doing by going there. Is it just a robbery? Or is it tied to some other street shit that be happening there? So you got all these different, situations and people that are watching this, that are possibly being offended by this. Maybe I think he's taking a shot at me by that. Or maybe him putting the alleged Hell's Angels guy in the video on the third verse, maybe it offends this rival of the Hell's Angels. Maybe that's the person that came by Drake's house. You just don't know. But while we're sitting here looking at just the surface, enjoying a fucking rap battle, even some of the lyrics and the certain names and certain angles and accusations, it's going up to Universal Music. It's affecting Nike endorsements. It's changing how fans react and bringing out the stands and the fanatics and has them doing vandalism, has people rolling up possibly on some gang shit, possibly on some fan shit, possibly on some totally unrelated shit and getting into shootings. This guy was shot in the chest, man, while we sitting here analyzing a rap battle. Now, there is the responsibility on Drake and Kendrick as well because of the stuff that they're saying, the people that they're mentioning, the tie-ins that they're bringing, right? Even the splits. Show me the splits back and forth. Now that becomes something serious, not just a playful angle. It becomes something serious. You mentioned Taylor Swift, who's the biggest artist out here. Even don't mention me in no shit that could be taken the wrong way. I got millions and millions of fans out here. That could be a problem. Taylor Swift, she looked like powder. She looked like fucking like baby powder to motherfuckers. Taylor Swift could be affected. Next day, make a fucking phone call, or she might not even have to. Her handlers, the people behind her that's invested in her, got problems with this shit. It's fucking way bigger than we think. And I say all of that shit now about the fan side and the gang tie-ins and us thinking that we're just enjoying this on the surface as just fans and how mega it really is. And some of that responsibility is on Kendrick and Drake, but also we have a responsibility to not join in on it. But I say all of that now to go to my J. Cole piece, which is, was J. Cole redeemed? And I see certain people that say that even online. Like, if you think that the J. Cole apology is blah, 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 then you soft now. I have a full disagreement with that. I'm not soft because I accept J. Cole's apology now in the wake of seeing what transpired. I'm not soft for that. Really? No. I actually am understanding how crazy this shit might be. And the same way we can talk about the behind the scenes shit and the shit that goes all the way up the ranks, right? Let's be smart enough to understand and at least assume that maybe J. Cole just happens to know a little bit, just a little bit more than us. Just a tiny bit, y'all. I mean, let forget the fact that he's actually friends with Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Let's forget the fact that he's actually doing songs and tours with Drake. Don't worry about that. Let's forget the fact that he's a mega weight and probably gets the same type of information that these guys get: scandalous shit, controversial shit, dirt and skeletons. Let's forget that, right? How? How? Really? J. Cole just doesn't know nothing about nothing? No. And even point number two to that, J. Cole is really supposed to get on that stage and tell us everything? He hurt himself because he probably shut the fuck up about what was to come. He took a bullet, possibly. Let's be logical here, and let's be objective, and let's be open-minded. Nothing that I'm saying is fact, of course. But opening up the room for opportunity is what it takes to be open-minded and objective, right? It's possible that J. Cole gets up there and says, "Look, man, I don't want no problems. I'm out of this. Yo, Kendrick, you can send the shot. I'm just gonna take it on the chin and all that." And that's just what he said. That's just what he was willing to put on record and public to a bunch of people that don't know nothing and possibly shouldn't know nothing. Now, I'm not gonna be the one sitting out here telling you what the dirt is and the tea is on these two guys. Happens in regular battle rap too. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it happen. Two niggas that's about to battle, and you got a neutral person, somebody that fucks with both sides, like on some friendship shit. I've seen them get off stage. For this battle, I'm standing in the crowd. I'm not even going to be on camera, getting off stage because these two guys, I think I know, or I possibly even been told what type of mud they're gonna sling. I'm getting off the stage. Look at didn't Rex and Head Ice have like real beef over the fact that when Math and Rex battled, and Ice and Rex both being Harlem niggas, right? But when Math is battling Rex, Ice is standing behind Math, and when Math is landing his bars, Head Ice is laughing his ass off. And Rex has an issue with that, right? Just think, people. J. Cole doesn't have to tell us what he really knows while he's on that stage. He might have just took a bullet. That actually would say that he's way stronger than some people even gave him credit for. Like, I'm just gonna take this. I can't tell y'all what's about to happen, but I damn sure don't want to be a part of it. And now somebody's in a hospital in critical condition with a gunshot wound to their chest. Horrible. Think J. Cole wants to be a part of that? We're gonna say that J. Cole ain't redeemed? If the only thing that we could do is on the surface say, yeah, but when it comes to the rules of hip hop, the way he did it was pussy or soft. I understand that. But let's be open minded. J. Cole possibly couldn't tell us everything that he either foresaw or knew. He couldn't tell us. He could just remove himself, AKA step off the stage. Definitely ain't getting no more songs out of this shit. But at this point, we really don't need them either. It's fucked up.